Electrical Certificate of Compliance. 7 reasons homes fail in South Africa. I need to say this before you sell a house, before you buy a house, or to rent one out, because I've seen this more times than I can count. A house can look perfect, everything can work, and it can still fail a compliance check. And when that happens, it's not just paperwork, it's panic, delays, extra cost, and sometimes dangerous problems nobody knew were there. Most people only find out they have an issue when the sale is on the line, and then it's damage control. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 7 most common reasons homes fail a certificate of compliance check in South Africa, and what usually needs to happen to fix it. It's no scary technical talk, just real-world, simple explanations so you can protect your family and your money. Quick question before we start. Have you ever had a COC, a certificate of compliance, delay a sale or a rental? Comment yes or no. If it was yes, tell me, was it a sale or a rental? I'm Stephen. I've been an electrician for 37 years. I've worked in roof spaces, opened thousands of distribution boards, and I've seen the difference between a home that's safe and a home that's quietly risky. And I'll tell you what I tell everyone. Electricity is amazing, but it's not forgiving. It doesn't always give warnings. It gives consequences. If you want more videos like this, practical, simple, and based on real homes, subscribe. I'm building a series that helps normal people look at their homes and say, okay, this is fine. That needs attention. And this is urgent. The paperwork looks right. Let's start with the one that catches most buyers and sellers off guard. Yes, proper certificate of compliance is normally a pack of pages. But even when the pack is there, homes still fail because the paperwork has warning signs. For an example, check the address is correct. Each page should have the same certificate number and the first page. And the details of the electrician should be clearly stated, not unreadable. Dates should be the same on all the pages. The name on the pages and the registration details should be clear. Nothing to be corrected on the certificate of compliance, even if there is a signature next to it. Address is not a PO box. It's a clear residential address. Nobody lives in a PO box, do they? Check the GPS coordinates. Here's the emotional part. A seller often wants to get the sale through, but a buyer is thinking, my kids are going to live here. I once saw a family move into what looked like a dream house. 2 months later, they wanted to upgrade something small, and suddenly everyone started pointing fingers. Who signed this? Who checked that? And the new owners were stuck in the middle, stressed because now it was their problem. The simple rule: if paperwork feels messy, like it was scratched out, unclear or rushed, treat it like a red flag. Get your own trusted electrician involved early, so you do not only glance at the paperwork, you look at it carefully. Unfortunately, the buyer usually only gets the certificate of compliance from the transfer attorneys after he has moved in. Please do not just file it with your other documents. Check it thoroughly. Comment in the comments paper if you want me to do a dedicated video how to spot certificate of compliance red flags without being an electrician. The reason number 2, the distribution board looks fine from far, but up close it's unsafe. Homes fail when there are open gaps between the circuit breakers and the cover plate of the distribution board. Circuit breakers and cover plates don't align. They exposed live parts. The cover don't fit properly, meaning that some parts of the circuit breakers are behind the cover plate. The lower part of the circuit breaker is behind the cover plate as you see on the photo, while the top part leaves access to live parts. There are holes that were never properly closed. The cover plate door misaligns, leaving open gaps at the DB. The door doesn't close properly, or the faceplate of the distribution board has only one screw. The cover plate has been cut to fit another component from a different make or model, or the wrong circuit breakers for this distribution board were installed. There's a piece of PVC where the DB blanks are supposed to be. This is normally stuck from the inside of the cover plate with glue or some kind of tape. To cover holes in the distribution board, you use a distribution board blank which was designed for this kind of opening. The dB is too high. It cannot be reached during an emergency. This distribution board is higher than the top of the windowsill. Look carefully. The distribution board mounted too high, and if you can't reach it in an emergency, that's a problem. There's no earth leakage in the dB. Unsecured cables from behind a distribution board. Also a big no-no. It's got to be secured. And please hear this. That distribution board is not just a box. It's the heart of your home's electricity. If there are open gaps, it's not the electrician who gets hurt. It's a child, or a visitor, or a tenant. Someone who doesn't know. Don't open anything. Just look at the front. If you can see gaps, broken cover parts, or temporary fixes, that's a common fail. Type distribution board or dB if you want to make a short video showing safe versus unsafe examples using photos. Reason number 3, poor or missing labels, and in emergencies, that matters. No clear labels. People think labels are just nice to have. No, labels are safety. If there's smoke, a burning smell, or something keeps tripping, you want to know exactly what to switch off. Fast. Homes fail when nothing is labeled. This distribution board in the photo has got no labels. The labels also doesn't match the switches that it actually controls. These labels do not designate to one circuit breaker. They are spaced incorrectly. Old labels were never removed, and now it's confusing. If the house has solar, there should be a clear sign that indicates that there are 2 supplies to the distribution board. The sign indicating 2 supplies to the distribution board warns everybody clearly. There should be a clear warning label which reads, "In an emergency, switch this main switch off." I've been called out to homes where someone said, "The house keeps tripping." I asked, "Which one on the board trips?" "I don't know, none of it is labeled." That's when you realize, in an emergency, you're blind. Comment labels if your dB is clearly labeled or no labels if it's not. And if you're learning something here, subscribe, because this series will make you far more confident as a home owner. Reason number 4, the earth leakage is missing, or it's not working, or not protecting what it should. All homes should have a safety device called an earth leakage, designed to switch off quickly if electricity goes where it shouldn't. Most South Africans know this as the trip switch. The real name, earth leakage, with a test button. Homes fail when it's missing. It doesn't work if you push the test button, or if there's some areas in the house that are not actually protected because of past changes. Past changes, renovations, add-ons, quick fixes. Someone adds outside plugs, a flatlet, a pool pump, new kitchen plugs, and the protection isn't updated correctly. Or the light circuit keeps tripping. So what do? Remove it from the earth leakage, instead of finding the fault. It's possible for the house to look normal, but protection is not covering everything it should. Comment trip if you want a full video where I explain this in simple language. What it does, what it protects, and why it matters. Because it does matter. Reason number 5. There is no proper isolator switch where it should be for the fixed appliances. You've got to switch them off close by. Think the geyser, which you can only see if it is outside, or you get into the roof space. The stove should have an isolator switch next to it. The pool equipment, fixed air conditioners, where the plug is inside, but the working part, the condenser, is outside. Homes fail when the isolator is not where it should be. It's not obvious or clearly marked. Or renovations move the appliance, but not the switch. The extractor fan above the stove works off the stove isolator. The circuit breaker for the stove is normally bigger than for a plug circuit, and the extractor fan normally has a plug top. This one matters because other workers get hurt here, like plumbers working on the geyser if it's in the roof space or outside. I've seen situations where someone believed something was off, but it wasn't. And that's not a mistake you want happening in your home. Ask yourself, if something goes wrong with the geyser or the stove, do I know exactly how and where to switch it off quickly? If you don't, that's a sign you need it checked. Again in the comments, switch if you want a future episode, the 5 switches every home should have clearly marked. Reason number 6, metal parts aren't safely connected the way they should be. In plain English, if something goes wrong inside a wire, the safety system should carry the danger away and switch things off quickly before a person becomes the part. Homes fail when metal light fittings are not safely connected to the earth. You stand on a ladder to change a light bulb, but wake up in the hospital because the chandelier wasn't earthed. Outdoor metal equipment isn't correctly protected. Older homes have many small repairs over years. A metal chandelier hangs within touching distance from the floor. This is not something a homer can eyeball or confirm. It needs proper testing. But you can spot risk patterns. Older fittings, lots of DIY work, many add-ons over the times. If you ever smelt a small tingle of an appliance or metal part in a house, that is a big danger sign. Dangerous connections hidden in the roof. This is one that shocks homeowners the most because they never see it. Homes fail when wires are joined quickly and left lying around. Connections aren't properly enclosed. Old add-ons were done without care. You see bin marks or melted plastic that becomes permanent wiring. That is where some of the worst problems hide. And do you really get into your roof space to check? Above your ceiling while your family sleeps. And this is why I always say, everything works is not proof of safety. Comment roof if you want my next video to be 7 roof space dangers I find in real homes. Now a bonus for South Africans. Wet areas and outside points. Because this catches people out all the time. Bathrooms, outside plugs, pool areas, garages, anywhere water can be involved. Homes fail when outside plugs aren't protected properly from the rain. Bathrooms have risky setups after renovations. Pool areas have DIY looking work on underfloor heating. Does not have an off switch next to it. Water makes shocks more dangerous. So these areas need to be treated seriously. So let's recap. The 7 reasons home fail. Paperwork, red flags. Unsafe, unfinished distribution board is a red flag. Missing or confusing labels, it's a red flag. Missing or incorrect earth leakage, another red flag. Fixed appliances don't have proper turn-off switches or isolators. Metal parts do not safely connected in the roof space. And wet and outdoor areas catching people out. Here's my message to buyers and sellers. This is not about making your life difficult. It's about making sure a family doesn't move into danger. And yes, you can fix things up step by step as your budget allows. But the first step is knowing what is wrong. Now I want to hear from you. Which of the 7 steps do you think is the most common in South Africa? Comment just the number 1 to 7 and I'll read them all. If this video helped you, subscribe, because in the next video I'll cover how to know if a COC is valid and how to find a trustworthy electrician. That's a difficult one. That one is going to save people a lot of money and a lot of stress. And please share this with someone buying or selling right now. This isn't just info. This is protection. I'm Stephen. I'll see you in the next one.